Understanding the value of marriage for a high-value feminine woman. Hi, I'm Edwina, your exclusive dating to marriage coach, and welcome to Talk It Through Tuesdays. I just wanted to talk to you ladies about this word called marriage. We all want it, but is it an achievement? I mean, seriously. I was looking back at some of the videos on Black Swan, and I really wanted to have my take on this, especially as somebody that I can relate with many of you women. I wanted marriage for a very long time, like some of you. I thought I would get married in my 20s and then in my 30s and then hit the 40s and like, what's going on? I don't feel fulfilled because I'm not married yet. And all these other things had been ticked off the list and this had not. And I had to really start questioning, what is marriage, and really, is it an achievement? And many women do think it is an achievement for them. But what do you think? Let's dive in first. Now, marriage is beautiful, but it's not everything. There are some good parts and there's some not good parts. In some parts of the world, marriage is an achievement. For some parts of the world, if you're not married in your 20s, it seems like you are not successful. Some men have been pressured, especially as well, to find a wife and settle down, have a home, and certain cultures really esteem men and women to be married at a certain age, and they see it as an achievement when they've done that and they've got family and things like that. But in society right now, it seems like many people are kind of running away from it. Are you running away from marriage, or are you somebody who's actually wanting marriage? Put that down in the comments, because this is something that I'd like to discuss with you. Some people feel that marriage is just another phase of life, just like graduation, going to university. It's just something they just tick off the list. And some people think it's a prize. Just because I'm a good girl, I should find a good man and marry. Honey, it does not work like that. Some of us have been good girls for a very long time and still not met the man of our dreams. Some of us have done everything that we're supposed to, prayed, fasted, served, gone here, done this, changed this, etc., and still not found the right man to commit to us. Some of us have done the bad stuff and have got them or not got them. I don't know what stage it is for you. What am I trying to say? It's not a clear-cut thing to just get into marriage. And it's not something that it's a prize. It's an honorable thing to be married. It's a covenant. It's something that reflects God's love. And once people see marriage or your marriage, they should see the love of God through marriage and your marriage. It's not just a normal relationship. It's not just a contract. It's not just a piece of paper. As I said before, in certain cultures, some people get extra respect. All of a sudden, you are a missus. And certain people just greet you in a certain way and look at you in a certain way. And if you're part of the African culture, and we just go there, you know, sometimes you're a missus, it's like everyone salutes you. But it's not always the case in certain other cultures. Is what does marriage mean to you? If you don't have a clear-cut idea of what marriage means to you, it doesn't matter whether you get married early or late. It doesn't matter if marriage esteems you in certain cultures or not. If you haven't built the foundations for what marriage means to you and what you want your marriage to look like, that marriage can sometimes bring you pain. Marriage doesn't elevate you. There are some people who are worse off married than they are when they were single. There's some people who are much more better being in a marriage than they were when they're single. It all depends on the quality of you and the quality of your partner. They do say that marriage can, what's that word I'm trying to find? esteem your life. It can help you to live longer when you're with the right person. If you're not with the right person, you may not live longer, and you may have a lot of stress and not look very great. That is why the qualities of who you are and what you bring to your marriage and the person you choose to spend the rest of your life with all are determinants about the elevation that you will have by being married. I wanted to say being married should not define you. And you're saying, what? We're talking about relationships here. And I'm like, yes, I know. Being married should not define you. There are many marriages out there that are suffering. And there's many women who are lonely, even more lonely in marriages than they were when they were single because of the certain things they did not deal with. Please don't think that just because you just got married that it defines you and you become better. You become better because of the work you put in yourself. You become better by the personal development, the training, the transformation you do in your mind, your body, your heart, your soul. Why? Because you're going to be a wife. Why? Because you're going to be a mother. Why? You're going to be a helpmate to somebody, a savior, an alarm bell system, a prayer warrior, a cook, a counselor, bedmate, lover. The list goes on. You got to be ready for that capacity, girlfriend. You know what I mean? Are your shoulders ready to carry that weight? It's not a bed of roses, but it has sweet benefits if we're prepared to do the work. It doesn't define you, but it does help make you better with the work that you've done and will do. In the dating process, in the singleness process. And I've even been told, as I've been talking to a few people, that anything we haven't dealt with becomes amplified when we become married. So if there's abuse, molestation, fear, anger issues, I don't want to talk about things, communication issues, etc., toxic behavior, all those things will get elevated in marriage if they're not dealt with. So I wanted to say it doesn't define you. The things that define you are literally the content of your character and what you're bringing to this relationship.
Guys you want don't want you, and the ones you don't want simply won't leave you alone. They say you are picky and have impossible standards. Your partner has lost attraction for you and you have no idea if he will stay or progress the relationship. The harder you try, the further he pulls away. You are starting to think you are cursed, that there's something fundamentally wrong with you. The truth is, you are not uniquely broken. You are simply ill-informed, uneducated, and ill-equipped. All the things that can be fixed. I am offering you an all-access pass into the Black Swan Nation, where you will receive access to all of the courses, mentoring and coaching calls. We are also offering a 100% no quibble money back guarantee if the academy isn't a fit for you. What are you waiting for? Get smart, be educated, and level up. Do it absolutely right now by clicking the link below.
As I said before, marriage is a blessing, but so is also singleness. How we handle the single stage and how we handle being single and understanding it being a blessing and understanding us finding out who we are, so that when we present ourselves in marriage, we know who we are to this person and we're able to communicate our needs and show them that our flaws, we can be naked and unashamed. We can have that blessing of a covenant that allows us to have the blessings that marriage beholds. But if we are not seeing marriage as a blessing, sometimes it's because we've not seen our singleness as a blessing. And the rewards stem in our singleness. They stem from the work we have done and the work we continually do. And don't just think when you're single, you've got work to do and that's it. You attract the man and that's it. When you get married, it's all over. Whatever you've done to attract, you've got to keep it up. You've got to ramp it up even 100%. You've got to still be looking beautiful and still be giving the compliments and doing the sweet things and checking on Mr. and family and making sure they're all right. And that maintenance, as they say, takes a lot of work. but it has its rewards. As I said before, individuals need to define what marriage means to them. What does it mean to you? Just that you're never going to be alone again? There's somebody that's going to be now your investment plan because you're never going to work again and just have kids and stay at home? And what does marriage mean to you? If we don't have a clear picture of what marriage means to us, we have got a visionless marriage, a marriage without a purpose. And love is not the only thing that can carry a marriage through. Friendship, communication, conflict management, these are some of the things that we have to deal with. Finance management, being able to work to becoming one. It's not easy, two people from different backgrounds coming together to be one. These things are really key. They take a lot of skill. So I don't want you to destroy your life by just jumping into a marriage and saying that marriage, that's the only thing that's missing for me, and I just need to get married and everything will be fine. No, this is not a fairy tale. There is no fairy godmother. There is no genie in a bottle that's just going to make you married and everything's going to get better. No. We are now helping women to have healthy relationships. And that stems from what you do now. Many marriages are also sometimes bored, boring, lifeless, lacking love. We don't want that. I don't want that. So these are some of the things we've got to start practicing in our dating life, in our exclusive dating stages and our courtships and our engagements, etc. We've got to learn how to bring excitement to things that may look boring. At one point I was thinking, oh my gosh, my fun life, my traveling, all the things I used to do before is over. Oh my gosh, I'm just more at home and with the kids, and Mrs. gone to work, and what can I had to find things to make myself happy. I need to make sure I go back to my purpose. I had to make sure I kept myself busy so that I was not idle. I had to make sure that I continue to make myself happy despite that. You've got to know how to make yourself happy despite not being married. You've got to know how to make yourself happy despite being in a marriage. And why am I saying these things? Because if you put everything on marriage, it may not give you everything that you want. As I said, it's not just love alone that holds a marriage. If you're a Christian and someone who's spiritual, we definitely thank God for prayers and things like God's presence in the relationship and speaking life in our relationships. But we have to have skills. And these skills are things that we need to build. And this is why the Black Swan Relationship Academy is there for you to build these things. I sometimes see many women that are sad, depressed or whatever, you know, why, what's happening? Oh, the man hasn't come. And oh my gosh. And the sadness comes because of this one area. Remember I said, marriage does not define you. It's a certain phase of your life. And as I mentioned before, I am really lucky that I wanted to get married at 21 and then 27 and then 30. I'm glad I didn't marry at those ages, because the amount of things that I've done that I look back, that I go, wow, I'm really privileged to be able to do those things. And even though at a stage now where it's time for kids and staying at home and building a home and everything, I don't feel regret. I mean, there's some times I want some girly times. I want to have a holiday and leave the kids with the hubby and just jet off. But obviously that would be a bit selfish. But I've done all those things. You don't want to be in a marriage and then regret and then thinking, oh my God, I didn't do this, I didn't do this, and didn't do this. Do everything you need to do while you're single. Work on being happy and making yourself happy first. Now, your happiness already is like honey, and the man is like a bee. You'll be attracted to that happiness, wanted to find why you're happy and want to enhance it. So let's leave the gloomy presence of I'm not married yet and when will it happen? And it will happen at the right time that is for you. I wanted to assure you that. My final thoughts are, is marriage an achievement? Shouldn't really be the question, but having a long-lasting marriage, that is an achievement. I want to make sure that my marriage lasts There's no such D word, divorce, in our home. We don't bring it up. I think I was talking to Misty, who was like, after all the investments I've invested in you, there's no way you're going away. I don't have any time to be chasing the other women and pouring into them. And same here, I've invested a lot. There's no way. We've got to make it work. And I don't want you to be thinking of marriage and an achievement. Like, I got my degree now. I got married now. No, I want you to be thinking of, what am I doing now that will make sure that my marriage stands the test of time? Through the hard times, how are you going to be with this person? Through the good times, how are you going to be with this person? It's not always going to be up. There will be some down times. There will be some challenging times, some painful times. And these are the things. And as I said, sometimes love is not enough. But patience, friendliness, communication, conflict management, being selfless and thinking of the other person, and so many other components. Getting training about how to love your partner and how to communicate with your partner in different ways. These are all key things for marriage. So let us be thinking, how are we going to build ourselves to make sure that when we get to that stage of marriage, our marriage is long lasting and lasts a lifetime. And not only that, but shows the glory and the goodness of God, so that people will want to get married and not run away from it. So thank you for listening, and welcome again on Talk It Through Tuesdays.